WWE presented its September premium live event offering Payback from the PBG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh Saturday night, with high stakes for several top superstars, including the Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley defended her Women's World Championship while Finn Balor and Damian Priest challenged for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, with promises of change coming to the faction if they failed to leave with the gold. How did the Eradicator, the Archer of Infamy, and the former Universal Champion fare in what went down when Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura did battle for the World Heavyweight Championship in the night's main event? Find out now with this recap. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and Streamer.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher. And before we start, we want to take this moment to apologize to you fans out there as we were unable to do our scheduled show this past Saturday night. And I want to take this moment to commend good old MF Michael Fletcher for doing a commendable job handling a tough situation there. I mean, we didn't know what we were gonna do, but MF, pulled it through, and because of this, we have a very exciting week of content for all of you fans, just to make sure nobody gets cheated. And we're gonna be coming at you every night this week. So be prepared. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. And we'll address that future content at the end of the show. And in case you missed it, you can check it out on my official Facebook page, where you'll see all of our upcoming content for this week. But MF, commendable job handling an unfortunate and tough situation. So for right now, we're going to get into what we were going to get into the other night. And that is, this is a special show tonight, a special Ridiculously Raw. In addition to Monday Night Raw, we'll also have our recap of the WWE Payback pay-per-view. And time permitting, I'm going to set the table for Impact Wrestling's latest event. It's an Impact Plus special that goes down this upcoming Friday night. It's called Victory Road, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown of that card. And there is one other thing that we need to address, and that is, in college football, Clemson is on major upset alert right now. The Dukies are taking it to Clemson, 21-7, 5:43 to go in the fourth quarter. We might have a major upset here tonight, so we'll keep tabs on that. But for right now, let's get into Payback. Like I said, from the PBG Paints Arena, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, this past Saturday night on Peacock and pay-per-view and everything else. We started it off with the steel cage matchup. The man, Becky Lynch, squaring off against the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus. Winner of the match in an even 20 minutes. It was the man, Becky Lynch, with a super manhandle slam off the top rope to defeat Trish Stratus. Becky Lynch turned lemons into lemonade Saturday night, delivering another extraordinary performance in a career full of them by kicking off Payback with a Match of the Year candidate against Trish Stratus. It was a hard-hitting bout that left both women with physical reminders and included two jaw-dropping spots, a superplex from the top of the cage and an avalanche manhandle slam, with the latter earning the man the win. This was what fans should have gotten at SummerSlam, but in hindsight, it may be better that it took place at Payback. While it's not the stage that the Summertime Spectacular is, it provided the women more time and a brighter spotlight than they would have received in August. Sure, the feud dragged on a bit too long, and the storyline accompanying it never really matched the magnitude of two of the most influential women in wrestling history competing against each other, but the culmination made up for it all. This was a legitimate Match of the Year candidate and something both women should be immensely proud of. The post-match event, which saw the Hall of Famer berate Zoe Stark before being left lying in the center of the ring, should nicely segue the heel mentor out of her program with Lynch and into a feud with her protege. NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton watched from ringside, continuing the story that there is not enough competition on Tuesdays. Could this be the start of the feud with the man over the one title she's never won? Trish's first steel cage match was one her body will not forget, as she sported a huge knot on her forehead, while bruises and welts decorated her arms. Paying homage to the competitors involved in the first women's steel cage match, Victoria and Lita, Trish broke out a widow's peak, while Becky delivered a twist of fate. There was an ode to Bret Hart versus Owen Hart from SummerSlam 1994, with Becky trapping Trish's legs in the cage, preventing her from reaching the floor and winning the match. Lynch delivered the damnedest superplex from the top of the cage. It likely hurt every bit as much as Trish sold it. And Corey Graves called out the fact that the cage match was intended to keep Zoe out. As always, the voice of the people watching at home with continuity complaints, but nonetheless, excellent match. 4.25 stars. You can make an argument for 4.5 if you wanted to, but this was an outstanding cage match, a great feud ender here. So, and we'll have more on Zoe Stark a little bit later on. So, there isn't much more to say. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. Becky Lynch defeating Trish Stratus in an even 20 minutes in one of the maybe the best women's steel cage match maybe ever.
Yeah, and I'll even go as far to say this is easily could have been fight of the night. Like, this is definitely up there. It was a 4-star bout. It was an excellent match. And you know what? I don't think for all of the negativity that we were giving Zoe, the Trish Stratus, Zoe Stark, Becky Lynch, if this was the blow off, and it looks like this was, what a way to go out. This was what we were hoping for. This is what we wanted it all along. This matchup with the two greatest women of our generation, Trish Stratus from that old Attitude Era, professional wrestling, to Becky Lynch, the man, who is without a doubt the quintessential cornerstone of this era of WWE women, the man, the trailblazer, whatever you want to call him. This was without a doubt one of the best matches we've ever had in the women's division in a very long time. You could go as far to call this the women's match of the year. Like, you could even say that. It's right up there. So yeah,
not quite. I still think it's Charlotte and Rhea from Mania.
All right, I mean, you can make an argument for that, and I think Charlotte and Rhea definitely is there. But you gotta say that Becky. I know there's gonna be a few people out there that's gonna disagree with you, Florio, and they would probably say that Becky and Trish is better. So I mean, to each his own. But for what happened, and especially in this match, no, they did a great job. They did a tremendous job. So nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
All right, MF, and I will set you up for the next match, as it was The Miz squaring off against LA Knight, special guest referee John Cena. Winner of the match, 15 minutes and 45 seconds, LA Knight. Yeah. So, not much more to say. MF, LA Knight defeats The Miz, 15:45. John Cena, special referee.
A match that should have had no business being anything good proved out to be better than expected. Delivered in certain areas that I think a lot of people did not believe that it was going to be. And it was a solid match. A 3.5 to 3.75 of a star bout. And on top of that, LA Knight cements himself as with one of the big victories of his career. A big win for him under the circumstances that continues to prove and become a big time situational thing for him, as a lot of people would love to see LA Knight continue his run, continue the speed that he's doing to eventually make a run at a title. And another big win for LA Knight is exactly what this needed it to be. And tonight, and I should say on Saturday, LA Knight takes one step closer to possibly being in a main event level or an upper mid-card level situation. And you saw at the end, there was a little bit of a tease of an LA Knight John Cena thing. I think it would be great to see, but I don't know if fans would be too enthused about a Cena versus LA Knight. I think it'd be interesting on paper. I think the promos are going to be, oh my God, LA Knight cutting on John Cena, Cena cutting on LA Knight. All right, that's a shut up, take my money moment. But as far as them going at it one-on-one, I don't know. I kind of feel like if Cena is willing to give the rub to LA Knight, then I say I'm all for it. But this is one of those where if you want to keep the momentum going, LA Knight would have to go over on that. But is Cena willing to do that for a guy like LA Knight? So I don't know. We'll wait and see. So nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
LA Knight defeated The Miz in a match that was exactly what it needed to be. A star vehicle for the massively over babyface currently in the middle of a run as hot as anyone has experienced all year in WWE. The company also booked John Cena as the special referee, a revelation that came in a pre-match promo segment involving the former 16-time champion and The Miz. There were a few teases of Cena inadvertently costing Knight in obvious interactions between him and the A-lister, but he stayed out of the action and let the competitors have the stage for the most part. When he did involve himself, it was after the match at the top of the aisle as he extended his hand to LA Knight in a sign of respect. The megastar accepted it, but not before rightly pointing out that he almost cost him, an appropriate reaction to what just unfolded. The crowd was red hot for the megastar. The commentary team did a great job of putting him over, and the acknowledgement from Cena was the exclamation point this segment needed. If there were any concerns about WWE's recognition of LA Knight, they were erased here. And Cena said, I've been a prototype, a doctor, but I've never been a host, Cena said. Miz said, you're almost 50 years old and you're still dressing like a Teletubby. And Graves pointed out the blasphemy of Miz wearing Cleveland Browns colors in Pittsburgh, but said he still felt bad for him having to endure Cena as the referee. The pop for Knight was enormous, and the chants of LA Knight were equally as loud. The guy is not the future of WWE. He is the here and now. And the company would have to be oblivious not to recognize it. That does not necessarily mean a world title, but it should make him a focal point of high-profile stories and feuds. Corey Graves said Cena might have found his next excursion. He could be like a modern-day dangerous Danny Davis, Graves said with a great callback to the referee of the golden era of WWE. And LA Knight nearly rocked Cena with a right hand, but pulled up, allowing Miz to hit the skull-crushing finale for 2 in a great false finish. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. I 100% agree with the rating. So we move on to our next match, which was for the United States Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Rey Mysterio, defending against Austin Theory. Winner of the match in 9 minutes and 45 seconds, and still the United States Heavyweight Champion, Rey Mysterio. 3 1/4 stars, 3 1/4 for this. Austin Theory challenged Rey Mysterio for the U.S. Championship he once held. Despite a focused effort, though, he was unsuccessful in regaining the title that had defined him for the past year. And Mysterio fended off the challenge of the challenger, ultimately countering A-Town down and stacking him up for the pinfall win. The question now is where Theory goes from here. One would not think Triple H and the creative team would allow him to fade into obscurity on SmackDown, given all of the effort we have seen building his star over the last year. Perhaps he's the next foil for LA Knight. If that's the case, he better work on his promos and sounding more natural, because he would get smoked on the mic by the megastar at the moment. Beyond that potential showdown, barring a series of needless rematches, it is difficult to forecast exactly where he fits at this particular time. Michael Cole compared Austin Theory's rise to Randy Orton's, as both were young stars with tremendous upside who enjoyed meteoric pushes early on. It's a valid comparison, but one that may prove detrimental for the former U.S. champion if it becomes commonplace, because that sets the expectations extremely high. With that said, Theory is as smooth a worker as there is. He is not flashy and does not need to be. He is athletic and solid, and he has consistently picked up little things that help improve his game. And then LWO celebrated with Mysterio after the match, showing no signs of tension between the group and their leader. 3 1/4. That's the best I can give this one. So, and oh, by the way, the Dookies have just added another touchdown. They're now up 28-9. 28-7 rather, with under 3 minutes to go. I think we got a major upset and a major stampede coming in Durham, North Carolina tonight.
Oh yeah, they're leaning over that bar. I think they're jumping. I'm watching it as well, and there's a few people kind of sitting on that top wall because there's nothing else other than that. there's no security there. So yeah, I think once they go over that wall, and it's a pretty high wall, so they're gonna be jumping down to quite a distance. But if they get over that, they're on the field, and yeah, Stampede's coming. I feel it.
Oh yeah. So we'll address it in just a moment. But nonetheless, this was a 3 to 3.25 star match here. So MF Rey Mysterio, still the United States Heavyweight Champion, defeating Austin Theory 9 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. 3.25 star. This was an excellent match. The body of work was very good, and at the end of the day, it was the right outcome. Look, Rey Mysterio, for all that's worth, he is one of the best stars in the world. Hall of Famer, has proven time and time again that whenever they're in a big fight, a big match, whatever you want to say, they deliver at spades. I love the body of work. I love what the layout is. Yeah, what happens to Austin Theory now? What are they going to do with them? I don't know. I think there's a certain different type of things that could happen, but we'll see how this plays out. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it'll be very telling to watch, but I think it's going to be fine for what it's worth. Now, Rey Mysterio, where do you go with him? Obviously, the most logical choice is you got to give your LWO brother Santos Escobar the shot. He deserves the opportunity at the title. He should have had the shot at the title. If it wasn't for Austin Theory to take him out, Santos Escobar should have been fighting for the United States Heavyweight Championship, but they never got that fight going because, like we said, Theory took him out. So at the end of the day, this man deserves the opportunity to get the shot and should get the opportunity to fight for it. So now there's rumors about maybe Rey going heel here. We don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, without a doubt, this was a solid way to start it. This is a great way to close the show. Or I should say, for this title match, Anthony Floyo, it's yours.
All right, MF, and I will set you up for the next match. The Steel City Street Fight for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. The champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, defending the titles against Damian Priest and Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. Winners of the match in 20 minutes and 45 seconds. And new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Finn Balor, Damian Priest. Dominic Mysterio had a hand with the finish with the money, hitting the Money in the Bank briefcase on Sami Zayn. Finn Balor fell into the cover. And we have new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's run ends at 154 days after their emotional win at WrestleMania over the Usos, ending the longest title reign of all time. In that regard, MF, Monsoon, hit it.
History was indeed made. I won't say unprecedented crowning because of the fact that the way that the Judgment Day won the titles, but I will say this was a hell of a performance. What a match. That's all I'm going to say about it. Just a great title fight. There's really nothing more to add here. So, yeah, this was incredible, to say the very least. And, yeah, there's really nothing more to add. This was incredible. 4.25, another 4.25, 4.5. You can say whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, history made, new tag champs, unbelievable moment, to say the very least. Judgment Day did it, but they did it their way. They cut, it went so many ways. You had JD McDonough getting involved. Dominic Mysterio got involved in a couple of times. Rhea Ripley put in Kevin Owens through the wall, through that retaining wall, by where the commentary, by where the ring announcer was. So you had that going on. So many things that went down in the fight. Dom paid a price, man. That swanton through the table right outside where the ring, where the fans were. Holy freaking crap! That was insane. You know what? We absolutely went nuts. We poo-pooed over the WWE after that so-called hardcore fight that they honored Terry Funk with, that happened 1 week ago on Monday on SmackDown Live. They redeemed themselves
Big
with
time.
this match. Without a doubt, this was hardcore. This was maybe a PG hardcore fight, but damn it to hell, I loved it. Every minute of it. This was incredible. 4.25 stars for me. Anthony, it's yours.
4.25 to 4.5 stars. Absolutely. You can make an argument for fight of the night on this one. After 4 months of frustrating results, the Judgment Day finally got the best of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as Damian Priest and Finn Balor captured the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship, though not without a little help from their friends. In a wild match of the year candidate Steel City Street Fight, the heels benefited from the interference of Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley, and JD McDonough to emerge victorious. The crowd was hot, the action was nonstop, and the fact that there were big spots and vivid imagery elevated it. From Kevin Owens diving off the balcony with a swanton bomb that drove Mysterio through a table, and the champs donning Pittsburgh Penguin jerseys to unleash a beatdown, this one had something for everyone. The screwjob finish puts heat on the heels, gives the babyfaces an out for losing, and it allows WWE to revisit the feud if it so pleases. This was great stuff and the quality of match you hope for given the talent and stipulation. Sammy and KO incorporated odes to the late Terry Funk early, and the prize fighter sported a shirt featuring the Hall of Famer throughout. The visual of Owens bleeding, wearing hockey gear, and stalking his opponents was great. It will be an internet meme. The spear from Rhea Ripley to Kevin Owens through the timekeeper's position was a risky spot, given the fact that she was in the semi-main event later in the show. Priest is going to be mentioned in at least 2 match of the year candidates at the end of the year, and that really isn't talked about enough. He is having a career year. 4.25, 4.5 stars. And MF, the Stampede has begun in Durham. The Dukies have done it. The Dukies have they didn't just win tonight. They manhandled Clemson tonight.
I gotta say, I cannot believe this just happened, man. This, out of all the games in this college football week, did anybody think Duke was gonna take out Clemson? No way. Duke, put some respect on their name. That's all I'm going to say. Just like you talked about putting respect on Colorado, put some respect on the Blue Devils, man. You know what? We know Duke is a great college basketball team. Hell, we can even say Duke is a great college lacrosse team as well. But I'm going to say it, man. Duke football, this is a moment for them. You're never going to take this moment away from them ever again. This is as good as you're going to get for a college football team to knock off the Clemson Tigers. I mean, you're talking about a Mount Rushmore team of the ACC. Like, that's how big this win is. So, for them, this is the biggest win in their school's history. The Stampede, well-deserved and well-earned. Congratulations, Dukies, man. Well done, boys. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the celebration. Man, they're going to be partying in Durham tonight, man. I hope they just started school. Professors, please be mindful to these kids. I mean, yes, education is big, but they might be a little half asleep tomorrow because they probably be partying up all night, man. That's all I'm just saying.
Cancel classes. Cancel classes tomorrow. I mean,
it is the start of the school year, so I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, but maybe there'll be some discretion. I don't know. We'll see.
And he took the words right out of my mouth, man. Without a doubt, the biggest win in the history of Duke football. Without a doubt. And I know we're gonna have plenty more to say about this Thursday night on TXN Sports World College Football Thursday, because you know, after a win like this, if that team is not ranked,
Yeah,
I'm going off.
I know. And I'm saying the same thing about and you got to say the same thing about Colorado.
Yeah.
They have to be ranked. How far are they gonna go? So yeah, if Duke makes it, if Duke gets gets in there, we'll see. But holy cow, man, what a
What a moment.
what a night! What a night, man! Can you believe that? If going into it, we are like, maybe it might happen. Maybe it might happen. I don't know if it might happen. It happened. We had an upset.
Wow.
So yeah, unreal,
What a
unbelievable
moment.
moment. Congrats.
Incredible. And by the way, that Colorado TCU game the other day, 5-star classic.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Game of the year. Game of the early year so far.
Yeah.
So, but we'll have more to say about all of that Thursday night. Trust me on that. So, all right. So let's get back to the business at hand here. Then we had the Grayson Waller effect, and his special guest, and Grayson Waller's special guest was the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And the Grayson Waller effect featuring Cody Rhodes lacked, well, Cody Rhodes. The American Nightmare hit the ring, took a shot at Waller's relative newness despite his abundance of confidence, and revealed that he pulled some strings to bring a new superstar to Monday Night Raw. Main event, Jey Uso. From there, the former tag champ basked in the audience's reaction and proceeded to drop Grayson Waller with a super kick. It was the big moment the show needed and something the social media team could hang its hat on, but it would have been nice to see more of an interaction between Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Sure, that might come soon enough, but considering the American Nightmare seemingly gave Uso's career new life despite their recent history, it would have been nice to witness even the smallest acknowledgement. Cody stepped aside and gave Uso the spotlight, what it means moving some intriguing creative and add to what is expected to be a journey back to the WrestleMania main event for the American Nightmare as he seeks to finish his story. Cody Rhodes said, my personal favorite, a flair for the gold. Rhodes took a second to shout out his love for WCW while discussing classic wrestling talk shows. Michael Cole implied that Cody Rhodes said, undetected due to the pop, I hope we know what we're doing. If that's the case, it does not make sense because he said moments earlier that he cashed in political favor to right or wrong. And if anyone is in need of the Grayson Waller rub, it is the heel began before Uso rocked him with a super kick. So, solid segment here. There's no doubt about that. But main event, Jey Uso, now on Monday Night Raw. Business going to pick up on Monday nights.
Oh, without a doubt, it's gonna get crazy more than anything else. But at the end, it's like a holy cow, are you kidding me type moment. But look, it was a big deal. This was a big moment for Jey Uso to come back. Yes, Cody is the one that pulled some strings to get Jey to Monday Night Raw. And then the question becomes is, what are we going to get? What are we looking at here? So, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. But my goodness, talk about a changing of the guard here. I mean, you know what? I got to say it. Yes, we got a guy, with main event Jey Uso. Obviously, we were thinking, all right, so Jey is most likely gonna, now that he goes to Raw, everybody talks about SmackDown and the whole 9 yards. I could now see, and I'm gonna be real honest with you, I could actually see Jey Uso maybe becoming the next World Heavyweight Champion. Now, obviously Seth Rollins holds the belt, but the Money in the Bank is coming into play at some time, at some point. So, does that mean Damian gets the belt? Possibly. If Damian Priest gets the belt, then you got Damian Priest as the heel going with that belt. Maybe Jey Uso faces off with Damian Priest. Now, that'd be a fresh face matchup, and then let these two men be possibly one of the main events of night one of WrestleMania. Remember, WrestleMania is a 2-night event now. Maybe have that as one of your feature attractions for night one of WrestleMania. I'd be pretty pumped about that. And I know, Florio, you love fresh-faced matchups. Jey Uso.
More than anybody. I do.
Yeah. Jey Uso versus Damian Priest. I mean, that would be a major, major, major trust on WWE Creative to let these two men, because They're not main event stars. But WrestleMania, the showcase of the Immortals, they make main event stars. Here's two possibly in the making. I would be so pumped if this happened.
Most definitely. So with that, we move on to our next match after that segment, which was the battle for the Women's World Championship. The champion Rhea Ripley defending against Raquel Rodriguez. Winner of the match, 17 minutes and 20 seconds, and still the Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley. MF, your thoughts? MF, are you there? All right. I don't know. I don't know if MF had a. I think MF might have had a probably had a small issue on his end, but nonetheless, it was a 17-minute, 20-second bout with Rhea Ripley.
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now, MF. Yep. Oh.
All right. I'm sorry. For some odd reason, my internet, the connection's out of nowhere. So I apologize in advance. As far as the women's title fight goes, yeah, this was a pleasant match. This was a really good fight, good battle. Went all the way to the very end. Obviously, we knew Mommy was gonna go over here. The thing is, Dominic Mysterio once again rearing his ugly head, had to get involved. So obviously, we gotta penalize this. But I'll give it a solid 3.25 stars. I thought this was a very good fight. I thought everything was really good up until the ending. The ending was left to be desired, a little disappointing, but I get it. I understand it. The only way Rhea was going to lose that belt was that something like that, or the only way that Raquel was going to win the belt was she was going to have to overcome all those odds. But the thing is that the Eradicator met her match. She found somebody who is just as strong, just as powerful, and was able to match blow for blow with the Eradicator. And if it wasn't for Dominic getting involved at the end, who knows? We might be talking about a new undisputed world women's champion. But at the end of the day, Rhea does keep the title, but you got to believe that Raquel could easily say, I deserve another shot because you did not beat me clean the first time around. So we'll see. It was a hell of a fight, I will say that. And this was at least 3.25, 3.5. So Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, 3.5, 3.75 here. Rhea Ripley has been the most physical competitor in the women's division in 2023, as evidenced by both her WrestleMania Classic against Charlotte Flair and this past Saturday's Payback war of attrition with Raquel Rodriguez. Ripley narrowly escaped an absolute battle in withstanding the arsenal of a rare opponent who can match her power. Rodriguez tested her in a way no one has in her title reign, and that will go a long way in propping up the second-generation star in the eyes of fans. Triple H and the creative team still have considerable work to do in order to get fans to invest in Rodriguez and genuinely care about her, but performances such as this one will go a long way in expediting the process. There were a few spots late that did not go according to plan, but the combatants recovered and delivered a hot finish that protected Rodriguez and continued the narrative of the Judgment Day, cheating to accomplish their goals and achieve dominance. Ripley's in-ring gear paid homage to the late Chyna, Joanie Laurer. This is a reminder that the Ninth Wonder of the World is one of the most influential stars of her generation and earned a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame for her own achievements, not just as a member of D-Generation X. Ripley rocked Rodriguez with a dropkick directly to the face and then wiped blood from her nose, two moments that put over the physicality of this bout. Rodriguez hoisted Ripley for a powerbomb and drove her into the ring post and whipped her into the guardrail before sending her shoulder first into the post, and Dominic Mysterio interfered for the second time in this show and ate a running power slam, and Ripley responded with the Riptide for the win. 3.5, 3.75 for that. And now we move on to the main event of the evening, the battle for the World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Seth freaking Rollins, defending the title against Shinsuke Nakamura, winner of the match in 26 minutes and 5 seconds, and still the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Rollins retains the title. And, we have for the moment lost MF. I don't know. Maybe his connection dropped again. I don't know. We're going to, I'll keep an eye out for his return. So, just bear with me here. So, but yes, Seth freaking Rollins defeating Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay, we got MF back. Okay. There he is. All right, we're ready to go. So, as I was saying, the main event of the evening, Seth freaking Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth freaking Rollins successfully defends the title, 26 minutes, 5 seconds. No question about it. This was the fight of the night. 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star. There were considerable expectations for the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura on Saturday night. Based solely on the skill level of the superstars involved, it did not disappoint. Rollins and Nakamura had a physical battle. The artist targeted the injured back of his rival that had been established in vignettes and nearly put him away with a Kinshasa to the back of the head. Visionary fought through it all to deliver the curb stomp and retain the title. There was nothing flashy here or much storyline development. It was just a very good match that paid off the first chapter of the program while still managing to present Nakamura as a legitimate threat who was far from finished with Rollins. This feels like a program destined to continue, in the manner in which the challenger was presented moments after losing suggests we may see Nakamura sink deeper into darkness to achieve his goal. WWE Hall of Famer The Great Muta sat ringside and was acknowledged as a great inspiration for Nakamura. That, coupled with a special anime entrance, made this feel like the night WWE may put the title on the artist. An incensed Seth Rollins said, "I know my back's messed up." The Visionary cut down a charging Nakamura with a super kick, halting his attempt at a Kinshasa, and the artist punished Rollins late, but the champion countered a roll-up and delivered a stomp to score the successful title defense. 4.5 to 4 3/4 of a star. This was the fight of the night, no question about it. So, unfortunately, we've lost MF again. So, I just got to wait for him to come back. So, but, incredible match between two great talents here. And, so, while we wait for MF to come back, I will go ahead and I'll probably go ahead and give you my overall thoughts on the show in just a moment. But live TV, anything can happen here. So, all right, we got MF back in. Hopefully we don't lose him anymore here. So 4.5 to 4 3/4 for me. Fight of the night, MF, Seth freaking Rollins, successfully defending the World Heavyweight Championship, 26 minutes and 5 seconds, and in your immortal words, retains the Heavyweight Championship of the world.
Yes, he did. 4.5 stars is my rating. A hell of a main event, an incredible matchup, and it definitely was an incredible match. Great fight, great battle. To me, it was exactly everything it needed it to be. The storyline was great. The battles were amazing. I gotta say, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was everything that it needed it to be. So, congratulations. Incredible matchup, incredible main event. And yeah, nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
And MF, your overall thoughts of Payback 2023.
A very good payback. I would even say a tremendous bounce back for WWE. I got to go 8.5. I don't think you can go any more better than that. I thought everything about the show was solid to good to great. There was really nothing bad about this show. So I gotta say it, man. Pittsburgh got themselves more than what they were bargaining for, and for the fans, better than expected. So for me, at the end of the day, Yeah, I'm happy with it. Give me 8.5 out of 10. Anthony, it's yours.
Well, I think MF might still be MF.
8.5. Florio, go.
All right, 8.5 for MF on Payback. I'm right there with him. Just give me one moment here. All right. WWE has a history of outperforming the hype surrounding some of these B-level pay-per-views, and this was no exception. After being such an essential piece of Raw for so long, it was nice to see the Judgment Day have their moment in the sun with all the gold in their possession. Who brings the faction down remains to be seen, but Damian Priest's Money in the Bank briefcase will likely play a role in it. Two great matches. Well, some very good matches, especially Becky Lynch and Trish in the Steel City Street Fight, as well as the main event and a slew of other very good in-ring contests, as well as the continued spotlighting of LA Knight and the big news of Jey Uso's return to Raw make this an easy thumbs up. So I agree with MF. It is a 8 to 8.5 out of 10. So with that, we move on from Payback over to tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, which featured one of the most anticipated intercontinental matchups in recent memory. As I get my stuff ready to go. All right. Oh, froze on me for a moment. All right. This past Saturday's Payback pay-per-view was filled with great action, but that is the past. Now it's time to start building up the Fastlane event on Saturday, October 7th. Tonight's show dealt with all of the Payback fallout, but we also saw some feuds continue that were not featured on the pay-per-view. Gunther is just days away from breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record as the longest reigning Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, but Chad Gable was hoping to prevent him from reaching the milestone. We also saw the Viking Raiders take on Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre in a Tornado Tag Team match. Let's take a look at everything that happened on tonight's Raw. Hence, this is Ridiculously Raw, of course. And Monday Night Raw was live tonight from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina on the USA Network. And we started it off with an in-ring segment, as it was the newest member of the Raw roster, main event Jey Uso, cutting a promo, interrupted by Sami Zayn. And, well, after a recap video showing the events of Payback, Jey Uso came through the crowd to kick off tonight's show to a huge ovation. After he spoke about being on his own for a bit, Sami Zayn came out to the ring. He told Jey that there are probably going to be a lot of people in the locker room who don't want to see him on Raw, but he also gave him a pep talk. They hugged it out to a pop from the crowd. And then as they were leaving the ringside area, they passed Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle on the way to the ring. And that led us to our first match of the night, which was the Tornado Tag Team matchup, as it was Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle squaring off against the Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders win the match 9 minutes and 50 seconds. A dipsy-doo botcheroo by Kofi Kingston. The first match did not start until about 25 minutes into the show. The Viking Raiders took on Riddle and Drew McIntyre in a tornado tag bout, which means all four men, in case you don't know, all four men are legal at the same time. Even though it took some time for the action to start, this match had good energy and some fun spots. The crowd's request for tables was even granted. There were moments when the pacing was a bit off, but most of what we got here was entertaining enough to keep the crowd reacting. Kofi Kingston ran to the ring to offer Riddle and McIntyre an assist, but he ended up being their downfall. He accidentally hit Riddle with his Trouble in Paradise, allowing Eric and Ivar to put Riddle through a table to get the win. 3 1/4, teetering on 3.5. And nobody cheers for a hug louder than wrestling fans. Eric and Ivar have a great arsenal of double team moves, and Riddle's reaction to Valhalla getting his face was kind of funny, but a solid 3 1/4, teetering on 3.5. So not much more to say. MF, Kofi Kingston ended up dipsy-doo botcherooing a Trouble in Paradise via accident to Matt Riddle. and that opened the door as the Viking Raiders win this tornado tag in 9:50.
Yeah, this was very interesting to say, the very least. Uh, Definitely a surprise about how this played out, but at the end of the day, solid matchup, solid battle, and yeah, I kind of feel like this might be the setup of maybe either Drew McIntyre turning heel, or maybe somebody like Matt Riddle turning heel. There was a lot of rumors going around that one of these two men might actually do that. So we'll wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was a great outcome, and yeah, unprecedented, a very good match, 3.5. So Florio, it's yours.
All right. Excuse me. So we move on. Then we had another in-ring segment. The World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. He called out Shinsuke Nakamura. They battled, and then Ricochet came out, and then it led into the next match of the night, an impromptu match that was made by Adam Pearce. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet. Ricochet wins the match via disqualification, 9 minutes and 35 seconds. Nakamura using a chair on Ricochet. He didn't care about winning the match tonight. He just wanted to send a message to Seth freaking Rollins. And MF, based on that little after event exclusive that we saw on WWE.com, it's very simply, it's very, there's nothing left to say except when it comes to Rollins and Nakamura, that feud must and will continue.
Oh no, it's not over by a long shot. No way. You saw what happened. You saw the layout. You saw what's going down. So yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we got ourselves another fight coming up with these two men. And you know what? I gotta say, I am for it. I am all for it. So yeah, really nothing more to say. This is gonna be one hell of a situation, and we'll see how it plays out, man. I'm really liking what I saw. Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. This could be another, you know, couple star, 2.5 stars, so nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
I'll actually give it 3 for the effort, because of the finish there. All right. It was an entertaining and competitive bout that made Ricochet look good against the man who just headlined the pay-per-view. Nakamura ended up getting himself disqualified by using a chair as a weapon. Seth Rollins rushed the ring to attack him, but Nakamura ended up getting the upper hand. Ricochet chased him off with a chair while Damian Priest was shown contemplating a cash-in backstage. The way the match ended was not ideal, but everything else we saw helped drive the feud between Rollins and Nakamura forward. It might not have made a ton of sense, but it was entertaining. Cole bringing up Nakamura getting hit with brass knuckles by Logan Paul was really funny for some reason. Nakamura is always a little stiffer with his strikes when he is playing a heel. And why would anyone turn down an offer for a title shot against an injured competitor? Why would you do that? I mean, I would go for it. MF would damn sure go for it. So, yeah. So, but to each his own, I guess. 3 for the effort. It was 3.25, but I'm bumping it down to 3 because of the finish. So, there isn't much more to say on that. Then we had another in-ring segment. It was the Judgment Day. They came out and they cut a promo, interrupted by JD McDonough and then Sami Zayn, and it led into a match later. And a match with another match was made for later in the night. Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough, which we will address in a little bit. So, and I'll tell you what, it was fine, but it was nothing to write home about. The weird relationship between JD McDonough and the Judgment Day needs to lead somewhere soon before fans get tired of it. So, and WWE was really messing with the crowd noise during Dominic's part of the promo to make it sound like the fans were louder than they were. So, nothing really more to say here. Then we had our next match, which was Shayna Baszler squaring off against Zoe Stark. Shayna Baszler wins the match, 8 minutes and 50 seconds. These are 2 of the more athletic women on the roster, and even though they lack chemistry from having only worked together once before, they managed to put together a decent bout. They had a lot of time, so this wasn't just a quick encounter. Both superstars were able to hit some of their signature moves, but it felt like Shayna had the upper hand on more occasions than Zoe. After a long struggle to get out of the hold, Zoe Stark succumbed to the Kirifuda clutch to give Shayna Baszler the win. The ending was great and definitely made both women look tough. After it was over, they gave each other a show of respect by bumping fists. So this could end up being the next women's tag team to emerge. And it looks like WWE is going to try to book Zoe Stark as a babyface following her split from Trish Stratus. The way Shayna stomps on her opponent's elbow always looks so brutal. Zoe Stark has one of the best drop kicks in WWE, and the way Baszler countered a senton into her finisher was awesome. Solid 3 stars for the effort here, no question about that. So MF, a nice little be a woman fight with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Shayna winning 850.
Yeah, no, this is really good. Like you said, 2.5, close to 3. I don't think people would be too mad about 3. But at the end of the day, I thought it was really good. So yeah, at the end of the day, this was as good as you're gonna get. So definitely more better than expected and really cool. So yep, I really got nothing bad to say. So Anthony, it's yours.
All right, and we move on. Well, we have a cutout here, as it was Raquel Rodriguez squaring off with Chelsea Green. Raquel Rodriguez wins the match in 1:40. Short and sweet. The last 30 seconds were the best part. Rodriguez and Green met for a singles match after it was revealed that Piper Niven is not medically cleared to compete right now. Ruh-roh. MF, those women's tag team championships are cursed. That's
well, it. Well, let's see. Hold on. We gotta see how bad the injury is first before we can say anything. But yeah, that definitely did not sit well whatsoever when we heard that. So, but I haven't heard anything about Piper Niven being injured, so that's why I'm kind of holding. I'm kind of on a holding pattern more than anything else.
Fair enough. That match was a dud and the worst of the night. So we don't have to go any further into the detail on that. Then we had a Miz TV segment and the Miz's guest, an invisible John Cena. We are absolutely positively not going to dignify or waste any time on that. We went from a dud match to a dud segment. Please. I understand cool down, but good grief. But now we're going to get into some action here. Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough. And JD McDonough wins the match. 8 minutes and 5 seconds. MF, how about it? JD McDonough, arguably, yes, it may have came with a little bit of some help here, but without a doubt, the biggest win of JD McDonough's young main roster career.
Yeah. Like I said, it was definitely interesting to see. And it was a solid match. I'd say about 2.5 to 3. Body of work was excellent. Really nothing more to add, and I'm pretty happy with the way that the match ended. So, McDonough gets a big win over Sami Zayn. Sami could afford a loss. He could take a loss. How that's gonna play out, we'll see. But at the end of the day, not bad. So, Lawyer, what's yours?
2.5, 2 3/4. The first half of the match was relatively simple before McDonough took control by slamming Sami's head into the announce desk and ring post. The second half was definitely more entertaining and gave Sami a chance to get back in the driver's seat. After Dom tried to interfere and got taken out, McDonough stole the win by pulling the tights and getting the win. Sami went after Dom and beat him up until McDonough made the save, and then Sami ended up hitting him with a haluva kick while Dom left him to take the beating. The way McDonough flew over the top rope and landed on the floor looked brutal, and Sami hit a chop that echoed through the arena. So not much more to say on that. 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star. They announced that next Monday night on Raw, we will have Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's World Championship. Dominic Mysterio banned from ringside. Definitely got to keep an eye on that. And the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes will be on the show next week. He wasn't on tonight, surprisingly, but it's only for 1 week. And now we move on to the main event of the evening, the most high-stakes championship match in just about 10 months' time. Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship on the line. The champion, Gunther, defending the title against Chad Gable. All Gunther had to do was win. High stakes here. Today marks 451 days for Gunther as the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. The all-time record is held by the Honky Tonk Man. His record lasted 454 days, from June 1987 to SummerSlam 88. You remember June of 87 on the Superstars of Wrestling taping? He defeated the great Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. SummerSlam 88, the Ultimate Warrior, maybe the most delicious squash of all time, when he deliciously squashed Honky in 31 seconds at the inaugural SummerSlam. Ended his run at 454. Does Honky's streak live, or is it over? The winner of the match, in 15 minutes and 50 seconds, and still the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the Reign General, Gunther. The Honky streak is over. Gunther is about to become the longest Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of all time, and he will do so this coming Friday. This coming Friday will be the magic number 455. There isn't anything else left to say except this was hands down the fight of the night. 4 stars, teetering on 4.25. Throughout the night, WWE hyped up the main event as an important match in the history of the IC title. Gunther was looking to set a record. Gable was looking to stop him. They started off simply with Gunther shoving the smaller competitor to the mat to show his dominance, but the former Olympian never intimidated by a bigger competitor. They had plenty of time at the end of the show, so they made sure to pace themselves and make this feel like a marathon, not a sprint. The chemistry these two have developed over the course of their feud has been incredible. Every single encounter has been better than the last. After hitting a huge powerbomb and a clothesline, Gunther pinned Gable clean as Gable's kids watched from the front row with tears in their eyes. This was an outstanding ending to tonight's show. Not having their allies at ringside helped give off the impression that this would be a fair and clean match at the start. Chad Gable was selling like a madman for Gunther. The way he bumped for a chest chop looked awesome. The stuff they did during the break while we could see them in picture was good. Gunther hit some nice moves to punish Gable. Gable's high-angle German suplex was a thing of absolute beauty. 4 to 4.25 stars. Fight of the night. It lived up to the hype. The way they made those video packages highlighting many of the past champions over the 44-year lineage of this title. Damn it to hell, this delivered in every aspect. We as wrestling fans could not have asked for anything else more. They did enough. They did just enough. Absolutely incredible match. 4 to 4.25 stars. There isn't much more to say. MF, Monsoon, history has been made. As of this coming Friday, Gunther is now going to be the longest Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of all time. The Honky streak, after 35 years, is over.
You know what? It's unbelievable, too. What a moment for Gunther. He did it. He's going to break the record, and there's nothing that stops it now. It is incredible what they did. Give it up for Chad Gable, man. He gave it a performance of a lifetime. Yes, he did lose, but, man, he gained a lot of respect from a lot of the fans. It sucks, man, that, and you felt it. The crowd wanted that title win. It was a little bit deflating at the end. Seeing the tears from the kids' eyes. One of his daughters absolutely crushed seeing that her daddy does not come home with the belt. It was great storytelling that WWE doesn't do enough of. They don't. And I really feel like this is one of their finer moments when it comes to storytelling and battles. Normally, a lot of the times we see a lot of campy comedy stuff. We see matches that are good that really doesn't deliver in a way. This was very high stakes, knowing what this moment meant. And not only did it deliver, it over delivered, in my opinion. And without a doubt, the record is, they emphasize about the greatness of the record that Gunther has done. And if there was one guy who deserves that opportunity to be the foil, this was it. And I really feel like this is not the end. Yes, Gunther won. Yes, Gunther's going to break the record. But if you're Chad Gable, you know deep down that I had you. I had the title won. And the thing is, to make this even more clear, it was a clean-cut win. It wasn't Ludwig Kaiser got involved or Giovanni Vinci got it. No, everybody stayed in the back. Very, very, very important that nobody got involved in this fight. They let these two men work, and they let them have this match. And that's exactly the great professional wrestling that you can get. WWE doesn't do this all the time. But when they do, damn it to hell, let's celebrate it, let's recognize it, and let's give it the kudos and the flowers that they deserve. Because that's exactly what this was. So, yeah, 4.5 stars is my rating. Fight of the night. Perfect way to close Monday Night Raw. Anthony, it's yours.
All right. MF, overall thoughts on this Labor Day edition of Raw tonight in Charlotte?
I got to go 8.5 again. I have to. I really feel like this was a great match, a great night of wrestling, a great night of action all the way through. Yes, I know a lot of people were upset about the ending. Trust me, I'm not really too thrilled about the ending as well. I really was hoping that Chad Gable was gonna stop the record, but it is what it is, y'all. And at the end of the day, it's happened. So nothing more to say. And yeah, congratulations to the winner, and still, congratulations to everybody on Monday Night Raw. So nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Right there with you. Another 8 to 8.5 out of 10 tonight. Well, actually, it's a little lower for me. 7.5 to 8. Tonight's Raw was kind of all over the place, but we got some new storylines to follow and a couple of solid matches. Gunther versus Chad Gable obviously stole the show, but the match between Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler could lead to something interesting based on how it ended. Chelsea Green continues to be one of the best parts of Raw every week. Jey Uso was already a marked man on Raw. Shinsuke Nakamura is still pursuing the World Heavyweight Championship. And The Miz looks like he wants another showdown with John Cena. With Judgment Day now ruling over Raw with almost all of the gold, it feels like it's just a matter of time before Damian Priest tries to cash in his Money in the Bank contract. So this was a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. And I want to put in one last order of business here, only because this Friday night, Impact Wrestling presents another Impact Plus special. It's entitled Victory Road, and it is going to be live from the Westchester County Center in White Plains, New York. This will be exclusively on Impact Plus. Also will be on Fight TV, and it will also be on YouTube for all of you Impact insiders over there. 7 matches on the card as of now. And from bottom to top, here we go. Bully Ray will go one-on-one with PCO in an anything goes match. The match we should have gotten back in April at Rebellion for the World Heavyweight Championship, it's going to be a straight-up one-on-one match. We're finally going to get it. Josh Alexander, one-on-one with Steve Macklin. Kenny King will defend the Impact Digital Media Championship against Tommy Dreamer in a title versus career match. If Tommy Dreamer loses, his in-ring career is over. The Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, will defend the World Tag Team Championship against the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin, and the World Heavyweight Champion, Alex Shelley. Leo Rush will defend the Impact X Division Championship against Kushida. MF, there's an MF special right there. Leo Rush and Kushida for the X Division title. Shows Steeler potential. Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa, goes one-on-one with Jordan Grace. And Trinity will defend the Impact Knockouts World Championship against Alicia Edwards after Alicia Edwards won a Knockouts Battle Royal last Thursday on Impact Wrestling. So that's the card for Victory Road. I will have the results of that card next week here on Ridiculously Raw. And with that will put the bow on this special edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. So now here is our revamped, reshuffled schedule after the events of the other night. Tomorrow night, 10:30, MF, you'll have it on your channel, RaceFan95, a special edition of Talking Wrestling TXN, as we will recap last Saturday night's edition of AEW Collision, and we will also recap the AEW All Out pay-per-view. Wednesday night, 10:30, also on MF's channel, RaceFan95, it will be Wednesday Night Madness. We will have NXT, we will have AEW Dynamite, and we will preview the opening NFL game, week number 1, the Detroit Lions squaring off against the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Thursday night, TXN Sports World College Football Thursday, week 2. That's also at 10:30. The game of the week, obviously, Texas and Alabama. We'll get into that and all the other top 25 action of week number 2. And then Friday night, the season premiere of TXN Sports World NFL Friday, as we will we'll recap the Lion Chief game, and we will also preview the remaining games of week number 1 as we start another National Football League season. And then Saturday night, the Cerebral Smack Talk, 10:30, hosted by good old MF Michael Fletcher. Friday night SmackDown and AEW Collision. That'll be on Saturday night. And then next Monday night, we do it all again. Ridiculously Raw, Monday Night Raw. And, of course, the results of the Victory Road Impact Plus special. So with that puts the bow on this. So until tomorrow night, for that special edition of Talking Wrestling TXN over on MF's channel, RaceFan95, Anthony Florio here, signing off on behalf of all of us here at Talking Wrestling TXN. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, the Phenom Michael Bullock, and always and forever the First Lady Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up 14-4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Tuesday, and until tomorrow night, for that special Talking Wrestling TXN you've been watching, this special edition of Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streaming.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you, beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.